From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Lunch Hour News Blast for May 6, 2025. This is part two of a four-part story about Tazz Webster and other folks from the transgender community and the issues they are facing caused by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's lack of enforcement of the Equal Access Rule. 4 months after the shoving incident, Webster found his door kicked in and his belongings trashed, even though he said he was up to date on his rent and never received an official eviction notice. Gone were his king-size bed, dishes, social security card, and birth certificate. Even worse was the loss of the obituary for his mother, who died when he was 12, and her necklace, a treasured memento. "I had nothing," said Webster, who had been mostly staying away from the apartment for fear of another run-in with the manager. "I was so afraid to be there, I would go to my friend's house and spend nights at a time, and then come back, switch my clothes, and leave." Court records in an eviction case filed against Webster in April 2022 cited repeated unsuccessful efforts to serve him. After he was gone, the case was dropped. Last August, Webster filed a lawsuit in a Missouri state court alleging that he was illegally evicted. There was never a court order allowing them to change the locks, allowing them to throw away his belongings, said attorney K.B. Doman of Arch City Defenders, an advocacy group representing Webster. The suit seeks $25,000 in property damage and for severe emotional stress and trauma. The apartment has denied the allegations in court filings. Stephen Strum, the attorney representing the building, declined the AP's requests for comment on the HUD case and said the pending lawsuit merely alleges that my client did not properly follow the steps for evicting. To Doman, Webster's case reflects a larger trend. A lot of people that would have some recourse, at least through HUD investigating, really are just out on their own now, she said. It's going to be harder for trans people to find safe, stable housing, and it's very hard already. Since Turner took the helm at HUD, the Office of Fair and Housing and Equal Opportunity has instructed staff to pause investigations of all gender identity discrimination cases, according to two HUD attorneys who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of losing their jobs or benefits. One said letters were then issued closing the cases for lack of jurisdiction. HUD has not disclosed how many cases have been dropped. Webster's letter and another provided to the AP cite Trump's executive order calling for the federal government to define sex as only male or female. Morris of the ACLU said she has never seen an executive order cited in a jurisdictional closure of a complaint. "So that's really alarming," said Morris, who described the closures as very much consistent with this administration's broader attacks on trans people and on civil rights more broadly. Asked about policy changes concerning transgender discrimination, HUD spokesperson Casey Levitt said the agency was enforcing the Fair Housing Act while implementing Trump's executive order restoring biological truth to the federal government. In a statement citing Trump's order, she said government policy recognizes two sexes that are not changeable and are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality. That's our news blast for this hour. We'll be back this evening with part three of this four-part story. If you are 18 or older, live in Pennsylvania, and are part of the LGBTQ plus community, please visit the Pennsylvania Equality Project website at paequality.com and complete their 2025 housing survey. Up next, we have the local weather forecast for Meadville here on PEP Radio.